what is a mask? It's like an impermanent version of the path that you just created. So what we do is render a mask from a path. And what a mask does is it allows us to apply an effect or an adjustment to one part of the image. So the way to think about it is your little permanent library of shapes that isolate parts of the image. That's your paths palette. That's always safe. And what you do is you create masks from those paths, and we can do all sorts of things. We can experiment, but you're safe because you have your path. You already created that. So I'm going to show you how to render a mask out from here. It's going to make a lot more sense once you see it in action. Let's make our mask with this path for the skirt active. The easiest way is to go up here and click on selection. Don't worry about any of these settings in here. We're not going to feather this mask. Just keep anti-aliased on. Click OK. Now we've got our marching ants. This selection, these marching ants, are the halfway point to making a mask. They're the bridge. Now, if you don't see any marching ants here on your screen, you're not going to be able to create a mask. So make sure you can see marching ants here. And if for some reason maybe you accidentally closed your image and you need to reopen it, or you hit a wrong button, you can always go back into your paths and activate it and make a new selection. So back in the layers palette, I want to do something to this skirt. I want to change the color of it, let's say. Under this icon here are the adjustment layers. So I'm going to just randomly choose hue saturation because I know that's able to affect colors. So what do we have here? This is what an adjustment layer looks like, and this is what a mask looks like. So notice the marching ants are now gone. Our path is not active because you can't see that blue line anymore. But what we've got is this path. Now you can't see the path in your picture. It's only on this layer, and it gets automatically applied to a layer as a mask when you have those marching ants and you choose like an adjustment layer. So what I'm going to do is option click while hovering over the mask to show you what it looks like. So this is our mask. It's a black and white image that gets attached onto a layer or an adjustment layer. And it's telling Photoshop where to adjust the image. So the old saying in Photoshop is that for masks, white reveals and black conceals. Anywhere in the image that the mask is white is going to get the adjustment applied to it. Anywhere that's black is going to get no adjustment applied to it. So it's helpful to think about this like if you're painting a house, and before you start, you're going to mask off trim or windows or stuff that you don't want to get paint on. This is the exact same situation. I don't want to make any changes to the background or to the shirt. I only want to make changes to the skirt. That's what the mask is defining. Anything that's white here is going to get this adjustment layer applied to it. And I'm going to click back on the adjustment layer so I can see the photograph. The mask is still here, and it's telling Photoshop to change the color only of the skirt. So see how easy that was to make that color change. Once I've created this mask, I can do all sorts of things to the area of this image, and I don't have to worry about doing anything other than moving around sliders and making choices about maybe how dark or light this could be or what color it is. Because by creating these isolation tools, I can now focus on the creative executions of the image. That's the whole reason that we spend that time up front to isolate things and create a library of those isolations that we can continue to use in the evolution of the image. Let's practice a little bit more. I've got this other path that I created for the hairspray, and I'm going to use that. If you hold down Command and click on a path, that's another way to load it as a selection. So we've got our marching ants. I'm going to go back into the layers, and once again, I'm going to choose a hue saturation. Path was applied automatically, and I can do a hue shift more toward red, And I could also up the saturation if I want to, and change the luminosity either way. I'll keep it in the middle. So you see how once you've got the mask on these things, you can just really focus on executing creative choices. Another great benefit of being able to work in this way is you can always turn stuff on and off just by turning the little eye next to the layer that you just created on or off and see your before and after. What you just completed is a truly non-destructive workflow. Now you can see that what we do is we front load the technical stuff so that we can get that pain out of the way right in the beginning, and then we have those things to work with forever, and we can just free ourselves up to be creative and have complete control over changes to the image.